Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, everyone. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hari Bol, 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 ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनर्पितं चरिं चिरात् कारुण्यवतीं कलो समर्पयितमुन्नतजरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियम्। हरिपुरसुन्दरदुती कदम्ब सन्दीपिता सदा हृदय कन्द्रेषु स्फुरतु वै सचिनन्दना। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयतां सुत पंगुर्मम मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वदाम्भुजो श्रीराधा मदन मोहन। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतुपेतुकृत्यं द्वैपायनविरह कातुराजुवाह। पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नष्टपरायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति नैष्टकी। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda. All together. Hello. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you. All glories to Gurudev, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to all Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu, Shri Radha Krishna, this is too small.
So much devotion, Maharaj. Wow. Welcome back again, Maharaj. So, we'll have now daily programs at 5:30 in evenings, and Saturday is right.
No, we're not doing Rath yet.
Okay.
It's going to be here.
Okay. So 5:30 in the evening time, right?
Yeah.
And then on Sunday morning, Maharaj is leading. So we'll have 6 programs.
Very nice.
That's nice.
Thank you for coming for so long.
I see you in New York giving us only for 3 days, but usually more.
And more devotees will come
Yeah, by
as days
Saturday
go.
there should be a lot of people. Everybody wants to come on Saturday.
Today, devotees from Portland texted me. Gaurangi was wondering if there is a place somewhere she could stay. And Gopinath with Tulasi were willing even to camp in a car. But I'll make some arrangements. So.
Lorraine said she could stay with the 2 of them. She's fine with that.
Correct. All right, welcome Maharaj back. And
Hari Bol.
now,
Thankful to Jagannath Prabhu having me here, and all of devotees here to tolerating me here. So, as he said, 6 days, 6 evenings Hari Katha, and 7th morning I'm leaving. Saying so, I was thinking since morning what to start with. So it's like, I thought it's 5 days, 5 lectures. Saturday was Rath Yatra, but just now I heard.
We can talk later, but Saturday I'll cancel.
Okay, no problem.
almost Bhagavad Saptaha, one day missing.
Yes. Okay, so 6 lectures. So I was thinking what to start with, and it's perfect. 6 lecture, and we have 6 faults.
False?
Yeah,
You want to examine them?
not me, our acharyas.
Okay.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, very merciful, very compassionate. Gaur Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Embodiment of the potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, carrying this mood of par dukhe dukhi. Par dukhe dukhi means he feels sad to see everyone is suffering in this world. And that's the mood of Acharya. Preaching can only be accomplished when a pure devotee cries to see the conditioned state of the people in this material world. When the heart melts and tear comes in the eyes, then the pure devotee prays for everyone. And on the pretext of the praying of that pure devotee, we all get benefited. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, what he asked for, Narsingh Bhagavan was insisting him, asking a boon. Shri Prahlad Maharaj not asking any boon. Finally he asked one boon, that I want people, the entire world get delivered. So their asking is for our deliverance. Gauri Das Pandit, the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also said, Gauri Das Karat Ash Sarva Jiva Uddhare. Gauridas is praying that I want all jivas get liberated. Yeah? So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very, very special personality. If we go into the depth of the contribution of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and try to understand his gravity of giving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world, one can't hold tears. Heart melts to see. So much be done. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his bhajans, his books, even though he summarized the essence of the Vedas, Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam, all the scriptures, in a very simple, ordinary language for ordinary people like us to understand. But the gravity of his contribution is unparalleled. Unparalleled. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who once had a vision of Swarup Damodar Goswami, came right in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur folded hands. Oh my Prabhu. Swarup Damodar Goswami is right hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, prominent amongst all associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is in Braj Leela is Lalita Sakhi. He appeared so effulgent. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur folded hand. And Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami said, I am ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give you some instruction. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he started weeping and crying. I am so fortunate, Mahaprabhu has sent you. First of all, I am so grateful that I am having your darshan. And then you saying that Mahaprabhu have some instructions for me to accomplish. Yes. He wants you to write Bhagavad Ark Marichi Mala. A wonderful book. Means like you made a garland. No? So make a garland of the shlokas of the Bhagavatam, establishing different tattvas. Sambandha, Abhideha, Prayojan, Jiva Tattva, Maya Tattva, Krishna Tattva, Shakti Tattva. So, wherever in Srimad Bhagavatam, the narration of Jiva Tattva, he just collected all that and make one chapter. Then Sambandha, what is our relationship with Krishna? All those verses together. So that's why he made a garland, Bhagavad Ark Marichi Mala. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur inspiring us to achieve our goal. And that he mentioned in his book Jaiv Dharma and also Chaitanya Shikshamrita. And also in his bhajans. Also in his bhajans. Giving insight of Sambandha, Abhideha and Prayojan. 3. What is our Sambandha? How to attain that Sambandha Abhideha and what is our goal. And Srila Gurudev, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, from very beginning of his preaching, he is telling, set up your goal first and then practice to achieve that goal. If there is no goal set up, what are you practicing? Just like we hear this verse saying, practice makes man perfect. The new version says, perfect practice makes a man perfect. Not just practice, the practice has to be perfect. To make that practice perfect, we need some inspiration, we need some knowledge, renunciation, all that. And that comes by reading the literatures of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Radha Dasyam is the ultimate goal of life, established by all acharyas. But to attain that Radha Dasyam, Srila Gurudev said we have to emphasize on practice, our sadhana. So, that sadhana, that practice means bhajan. Bhajan madhya shesht navvida bhakti Krishna prem Krishna dite dhare mahashakti. Amongst all the 64 limbs of bhakti, 9 limbs of bhakti are more prominent. Prahlad Maharaj said, na? 7th canto Bhagavatam. What are 9 limbs of bhakti? Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasya, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. But iti pumsam arpita Vishnu, Bhakti Chan Avalakshana. Performing these 9 limbs of bhakti, not without surrendering, but with surrendering. First of all, surrender and then follow 9 limbs of bhakti. Not that first falling 9 limbs of bhakti and then surrender. Iti pumsam arpita Vishnu, Bhakti Chan Avalakshana. First surrender. Surrender to whom? To Krishna. How to surrender Krishna? Who's Krishna? I don't know. Then surrender to the representative of Krishna. Means first, Guru Padashraya. Taking shelter of Shri Guru. And what Guru gives? Plant the seed of the bhakti in the heart. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. Mali hoya kare se beej aropan, Shravan Kirtan jale kare sinchan. And as a gardener, watering that seed of bhakti. Watering. How watering? Guru plants the seed of bhakti in the heart. So planting the seed of bhakti in the heart means what? Inspiring disciple to serve Krishna. Seva Vasna. That is the seed. But as if we have a garden, we are caring our garden. We put fencing so that deer and other animals can't enter in and destroy the garden. Therefore, very beautiful garden has been created. All individuals, we all, there's a garden here in the heart, which is made by Shri Gurudev and all our Shiksha Gurudevs, watering that plant of bhakti, the seed of bhakti, in the heart. And with utmost care, the garden has to be maintained. The important point here is, from morning till night, we perform all positive activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Chanting, reading, chanting mantras, chanting mahamantras, worshipping, cooking, offering, bathing deities, dressing them, making garlands, following Ekadashi, watering Tulasi, worshipping Tulasi, paying obeisances, everything, right? So much positive. But then, what is that which makes the bhakti get stagnant? There are 6 faults which Shri Rupa Goswami Pad he mentioned, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is elaborating on that. 6 faults that destroy bhakti. What are these 6 faults which destroy bhakti? Atyahar prasascha prajalpo niyamagraha Jan sangas cha lolyam cha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. He mentioned 6 topics which helps to bhakti to grow and 6 faults which destroy bhakti. Utsa nishcha dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga satovritte shadbhir bhakti prasiddhati. Everyone is very learned here. All know all the verses. But 6 faults. Atyahar prasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is elaborating on each and every aspect of these 6 faults. If I am not aware of what are my faults, how I am going to overcome them? Because the goal is to achieve Radha Dasyam, which is not a sugar candy, to just open the wrap and eat it. This is something which is very rare to find, and that's why so much purity and self-assessment is so essential. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is showing us a mirror. See that mirror and get self-assessment. It is for those who are sincere, who actually understand the goal of human life is to attain what? The service of divine couple Radha Krishna. There are many people, so-called devotees, they claim they are devotees. And you know what they say? Who knows what's going to happen after death? Or when you die, how the devotee is coming and helping you? There's no one to help you. So what is all this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? Nonsense. Who have seen Krishna? Krishna is nothing. How Krishna is helping you at the point of death? How devotees are helping you at the point of death? So many stupid concepts. I would say stupid, nonsense concepts. That means that person has never ever in their life associated with any sadhu. But that person can say, oh, for some years, many years, I was hearing Harikatha, I was reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But after reading and associating, this is the essence you're concluding? Your essence say you're zero. That's not the conclusion. So self-assessment, it comes when we hear Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And if you are associating with that person and not associating with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you are actually committing offense to all the acharyas. Be careful with this point. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he warned everyone, strictly, very strongly warned, for the sake of getting prestige and for the sake of following the footsteps of those who are helping you in material life and in material concepts, and you saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, and not refuting the arguments of that person who is speaking against bhakti, then you are the worst atheist. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you immediately become atheist, even though you think you're chanting or you're following all the principles of bhakti, but you're getting along with that person who's opposing bhakti and who's opposed Krishna, you are number one atheist. Reject that person immediately. That's so much detrimental to your bhakti. And the effect and reaction comes in a very subtle way, which can't be seen or perceived. It comes in a very subtle way and they start gradually destroying bhakti in the heart. I'm not saying this. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, isn't he realized or Acharya of this world? So where is the doubt of what he's saying? So we have our own stand. We are fixed and firm of what we are doing. Not to get attracted to any philosopher or motivational speaker of this world who speaks philosophy which is nonsense, because even Hiranyakashipu, even Ravan was quoting Shastras. But Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, those demons, they don't know the essence of the Shastras. They're speaking so much body and soul concept. But they have never realized this. Because there was one thing, lack of sadhu sangha. This is how bhakti get destroyed. And we are trying, the sadhaka, the real genuine sadhaka, try all the means to save one bhakti. No matter if he has to give up his dear ones. And therefore Bhagavatam says, Guru na sasyat, sajano na sasyat, pita na swajanani na sasyat. Reject that father, reject that mother, reject that brother, reject that demigod, reject that brother who are against Bhakti and Krishna, who cannot save you from the clutches of death. Guru na sasya. Just like Shibali Maharaj, he rejected his guru, Shukracharya. That guru has to get rejected. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he rejected his father. That father has to be rejected. Just like Bharat rejected his mother Kakai, that mother has to get rejected. And brother, just like, who rejected brother? Who rejected brother?
Krishna's Kaviraj?
Mm-hmm.
His wife of Krishna.
Vibhishan. Just like Vibhishan rejected his brother Ravan,
Yes.
who know all the Vedas. Ravan was very learned. He knew all the Vedas. Not physically strong, but also very intellectual. Descendant of Kashyap, sage Kashyap. But never understood Shastras because no sadhu sangha. So that brother has to get rejected.
Krishna says about reject, it means like cut him complete, or
No association with that person.
this is father or mother, this is parents. How it's in reality. Of course, I understand it's like philosophy, but how it's in reality.
Have to, just like Vibhishan put this into reality. I don't want to associate with you. Because just by your association, destroying my bhakti.
And he'll say, I give you life. This is, you come this world from me.
Who give you life then?
Their parents.
And who give life to their
The
parents?
Krishna.
It is a false idea that they're giving our life. The life is given by Krishna. We are surviving on the mercy of Krishna with this nature, all this essential water, air, etc. is given by Krishna. That's the, not the fundamental, but that's the ultimate truth.
But what if child is too small to reject?
You have a different question, not related to this.
Okay.
We'll speak later about that.
Okay, thank you.
How about if you feel like your association with your siblings can help them in some way?
Question answer we can do later.
Okay.
First we can finish the lecture. Because then the whole topic will get in a different direction. No, we'll speak about this. But You saying how about the siblings, right? So that's what I'm saying. Just like Vibhishan, he rejected his brother Ravan. So this is what Bhagavatam saying. Reject that brother because he's not following the same positive path as you are following. Rejection means giving up the association. Hard, huh?
Very hard, especially if you see some light in them, some faint promise. It's hard not to try or give them your good association.
Huh? Not getting.
So, did you understand what I said?
No.
Okay. If you see good in them, if you see their heart is in a decent place, but they're not on the path per se, would my association help them along, or is that just my imagination?
Yes, if your association helping that person, then it's good. But don't get influenced by his association and destroy your bhakti. Because you may not be that strong to influence that. And maybe what if you get influenced by that? Then you're losing that opportunity. That's why.
Okay, that is very clear. Thank you.
Therefore, the very first enemy to bhakti is, first fault is Atyahar. There are 6 faults. I'm just reading what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing without giving my concepts to that. Atyahar means eating more than necessary or collecting more than what is required. Yes, everyone knows this. Second is prayas, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third is prajalpa, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, niyamagraha, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Yes? Or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Too much adherence to rules and regulations. We have example in Srimad Bhagavatam for this. I'll come to this point later. First, just the numbers. Fifth, Jan Sangha, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. They're going to destroy your bhakti. The worst thing is association, means the bad association. That's the worst. And the best thing is good association. Even a worse and bad person in a good association get transformed. And a good person in a bad association can also become bad. Because very easy to get influence, not strong enough. Sixth, lolyam, being greedy for mundane achievements. So, one can say these are very simple things I heard many times. But just contemplate on this. While we chant, are these 6 faults present in me? And if yes, to what extent? I cannot say I don't have these 6 faults. If I don't have these 6 faults, then that means I'm very pure. But because we are working hard to achieve that purity, but 6 faults to some degree, to some extent, are there. So it is very important to consider a deep meaning of this verse, not just ordinary meaning. For anyone who wants to engage in pure devotional service, Again, I'm saying this is for those who are sincere sadhakas, not for those who are taking bhakti as taken for granted. This is for sincere sadhakas. Because every step, a sincere sadhaka, every step what he put forward with utmost care and attention. Every step. What is my next move? If it is aligned, sadhu sange sato vritte, if it is aligned with the vritti of sadhu, means the path which is shown by the Mahajans, Mahajano je gatha sapantha. This question was been asked to Yudhishthir Maharaj 5,000 years back. Which path is the most safest path? Which highway? I-90, I-20, I-30? We see accidents. But the only safest path is, he said, so many thousand years back, Mahajanoje Gatha Sapantha. The path which is shown by Mahajans means the pure devotees. With eyes closed, Dhavan Nividya Netra Naskhalena Patedi. Yanastha Nararajan na Parmardit Kaharchit, Dhaval Nividya Netra Naskhalena Patedi. Even one walks and run on with eyes closed. No harm, no danger, no accident. Following the path of the Mahajans, the pure devotees. There's the safest path. Sure. For one who neglects to follow these instructions, attaining devotion to Lord Hari is extremely rare. We are hereby elaborating the meaning of this verse for the benefit of those who have a very strong desire to attain pure devotional service. Strong desire, very strong desires. Therefore, no qualification required. Every jiva is qualified to do bhakti. Sabe pumsam paro dharmo yatha bhakti adhokshaji. Everyone rights. Like we are citizens of this country. We have rights. We have some rights. Independence. We are independent. We have this right. But that independence is also restricted to some extent. You're not independent to just burn someone's house. You can say, I'm independent, I can do anything. Similarly, this independence is given to us with some restrictions. We can't go beyond those limitations. So, one who has strong desire to attain pure devotional service, then one has to overcome the 6 impediments to devotional service. Atyahar, the first one. So many people think the word Atyahar refers only to overeating. Yes? Prabhu, on a feast day, special feast day, we eat more than the regular days. So you say overeating. Up till here. But Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said what? Kant karo bhojan. Eat up till here. Mahaprabhu is instructing this. Mahaprabhu is not teaching us to eat less or more. When Mahaprabhu was serving prasadam, on many occasions, with his own lotus hands, he's serving prasadam to his associates. When the disappearance of Sri Haridas Thakur, Mahaprabhu is serving prasadam to his devotees. And many other occasions. After the cleaning of Gudincha temple, and devotees saying, no, Mahaprabhu, enough. But Mahaprabhu putting like 3 times more. Eat. So what Mahaprabhu is teaching here? Atyahar, overeating. We have to understand The deep meaning of the word Atyahar means overeating. It's not overeating. If it is a negative word, then Mahaprabhu would have not done this. Mahaprabhu also didn't like the idea of dry renunciation. There was one Brahmin in Navdeep Leela. A Brahmin, Dugdhapai Brahmin, means he never ate any grains in his life, only milk. And therefore he never incurred any sinful activities because no grains, just milk. And he wants to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Shivasangam, the house of Shivas Pandit. And he's begging and approaching Shivas Pandit, can you please request Mahaprabhu, I want to be just inside that quarters to see his dancing. Shivas Pandit came to Mahaprabhu and requested him. There's a Brahmin, he never performed any sin in his life, he's sinless. Everything in this world is less, huh? Everything is less, shameless, sinless. Anyway, so he's never performed sin in his life because he only drank milk. Mahaprabhu became upset and he said, oh, just by drinking milk, is he performing bhakti? Drinking milk is not bhakti. Calves always drink milk. They are doing bhakti. Mahaprabhu became angry. So he don't like dry renunciation. Whereas Mahaprabhu is giving so much prasad, making devotees to eat more, overeating. So that's not the meaning of Atyahar, overeating. Mahaprabhu said, eat up till here, kant, till the throat. But what do after that? Sankirtan, dance, sing and dance, Mahamantra. Sankirtan means we are eating we eating with that energy, we are using that energy in serving the Lord. As we were discussing this morning, Jagannath Prabhu. Why devotees take rest? Why they sleep? To engage that mode of ignorance and sleep also in the service of Krishna. Sleeping is mode of ignorance. But what happens when we sleep after 4, 5, 6 hours? In the night when we sleep. In the morning we get up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Fresh. And that energy which we got after eating or sleeping, we are utilizing that energy, chanting mantras, serving Lord, chanting Mahamantra and all that. So engaging sleep also in the service of Krishna. Engaging eating also in the service of Krishna. That's the life of a devotee. His eating and sleeping is also service. Whereas materialistic person, his eating and sleeping, everything is just waste of time. So Atyahar is not overeating. Many people may think that the word Atyahar refers only to overeating, but this is not so. It is explained in the first verse of Updeshamrit. Now you see the beauty of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's presentation. He is giving references from so many shastras to establish his point. That's the beauty of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Jaiva Dharma, Chaitanya Shikshamrit. If he's raising one question and he's answering his own, but with so much reference from the shastras. And also his personal realizations together. Just like he's saying, it is explained in the first verse of Updeshamrit. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udrupast vegam, hitan vegan vishet dhiraha, sarvam atimam prithvim cha shishyat. What is the meaning? A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. There's the meaning of this verse. Understand? Understand? First verse of Upadeshamrita. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. So why he quoting this verse? What he want to present here? In this regard, the urge of the tongue is desire to taste foodstuffs. The urge of the stomach is the desire to overeat. If we understand the word Atyahar in the second verse as overeating, the fault of repetition occurs in this condensed collection of essential instructions. There cannot be repetition in the same verse. Then it's a fault, according to Sanskrit grammar. Punarvatti. Therefore, it is the duty of the learned readers to find other meaning of the word Atyahar as used by the most grave Rupa Goswami. You understand what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying? He's taking verse. First he's telling Bhakti is very important to follow. But then there are 6 points, six faults which destroy Bhakti. Amongst those 6 faults, the very first is Atyahar. Atyahar, which we understand overeating, is not conducive to Bhakti, is detrimental to Bhakti. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that's not the case. Because that's the third verse of the Upadeshamrita, right? Third verse? Second verse? Second verse. There's a second verse. I was just checking. Somebody was telling me, if you ever go to get a driving license, first you have to do the exam, and then there are going to be drive test. And the officer sitting next to you, don't follow him, just follow the rules. At the stop sign, he will going to tell you to move. Why are you stopping here? He's checking you. And then he is checking how much you following the rules. So you have to stop. Even he's saying, no, you have to move. I'm sorry. So that's the second verse. Atyahar prasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. Actually, I'm very new. I come here, Ujjain Sangha, to learn from all of you. Truly speaking. All seniors here, I'm just like your child. Everyone is senior. Jagannath Prabhu is so senior. Manmohan Prabhu. Everyone. So, I'm here to learn. So, second verse, if the word Atyahar, coming to the point now, if the word Atyahar is overeating, then there's a fault of repetition, because in the very first verse of Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami Pad already spoke about what? Overeating. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udar upastha vegam. Again, a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. This is the first verse of Upadeshamrita. And Rupa Goswami Pad already mentioned in that the urge of the stomach is desire to overeat. So if we understand the word Atyahar in the second verse as overeating, the fault of repetition occurs in this collection of Upadeshamrita. And a poet like Sri Rupa Goswami, there cannot be any fault in his writings. Impossible. You understand impossible? If you separate the word, IMPO, SS, impossible. But if you cut this word, I am, and then possible. I am possible. It's impossible. So there is no fault in Srila Rupa Goswami's writings. Can't be. Even if Brahma comes and say, cannot believe this. So, although bhojan means eating, is the principal meaning of the word ahar. So if you understand Atyahar, ahar means eating. The word bhojan also means to enjoy the objects of five senses. Ahar, eating, is not just the food what we eat, but the object of enjoyment of five senses is also ahar, is also eating. So we also eat with our eyes. An example from Bhagavatam? An example from Bhagavatam? Who ate with his eyes? Huh? No. Ajamil.
Oh, yeah.
Ajamil saw that scene in the forest. A hunter and a prostitute mixing together. And Ajamil saw this, even though was pure in nature, but seeing this, he ate with his eyes, means he grabs. So Srila Bhakti-Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj used to say, we eat from all our senses because we put everything inside. Hearing mundane song, seeing with eyes, nose, etc. This Atyahar means this is eating. So, although eating is the principal meaning of the word ahar, the word bhojan also means to enjoy the objects of the five senses. Form by the eyes, sound by the ears, smell by the nose, taste by the tongue, feeling of heat and cold, soft and hard by the touch. In this way, five senses enjoy. Yes? In this way, five senses enjoy. This type of material enjoyment is compulsory for an embodied soul. Without enjoying the sense objects, a living entity cannot survive. How are we going to survive without that? So it becomes a very essential. As soon as the living entity gives up sense enjoyment, he leaves his body. So if a person is died, lying on the ground, can he enjoy sense of touch, sound, smell, seeing? Not at all. And if we put ornaments on the dead body, does it appear good on a dead body or in a living body? Mandanam lokaranjanam Bhagavad bhakti hinasya jati shastra japastapa apraneshu dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. If any beautiful girl, she died. So when she is alive, she ornament her body with so many ornaments, she looks so beautiful. But when she dies, suppose she died, and no matter how many ornaments you start keeping on your body, it doesn't look nice. Yes? Because there is no life. So any type of austerity, any type of penance, any type of worship, any type of sadhan, practice, without Bhagavad Bhakti, without the bhakti and the pleasure of the Lord, it's just like ornamenting a dead body. It's just like ornamenting a dead body. anything without bhakti. So it looks like these are fundamentals, but it is so important. Many times we just skip all these points and we try to. It's very palatable, it's very good, and it's also essential to know our Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures, Siddhantas, Ras Vichar. But most of the time it is seen that we avoid the fundamentals, which is a very strong foundation on which we can build the palace of Ras Vichar. Many, believe me, I was serving Gurudev some years, and there were some devotees criticizing Gurudev, saying that he's always speaking very high topic, Radharani topics and all that. He don't give fundamentals, he don't give the basics, and he don't emphasize on sadhana. That's totally absurd. We serving directly Gurudev, we know how Gurudev was in lectures, although he's giving us very high topics for us to understand, and he used to say, I know, I'm speaking in Bejar, Gurudev said this, I'm speaking this Radha Tattva and all this Braj Bhav, and I also know maybe 2 or 3 can understand, and amongst 2 or 3 only maybe 1 or 2 can follow this, and rest you all are absent. But still I'm giving you, because at least you get the information what is our Gaudiya Vichar. Just keep in head. But you think you cross the sadhana, the practice, and achieve this, that will not going to happen. And Gurudev gave his example. He said, I serve my Guru Maharaj throughout my life. Because somebody asked the question to Gurudev, how you prove that your Guru Maharaj, Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, is bona fide spiritual master? Somebody asked this question to Gurudev. Gurudev said, to understand this, you have to renounce your family and everything like me and stay in the mud for 60 years and serve Gurudev. Then you will understand how my Gurudev is bona fide spiritual master. You think you just want to hear about him and can conclude and understand? You have to serve to understand his greatness. So Gurudev was always giving to his brahmachari sannyasis basics, fundamentals, very important to know and practice. Yes, Srila Rupa Goswami, who is Ras Acharya, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu infused in the heart of Shri Rupa Goswami all the Ras Vichar at Prayag. Vrindavan Ras Keli Vartam Kale Lupta Nishakti Uktaha Sanchare Rupno Vyatnat Punasa Prabhu Eva Prayag Eva Lokashishtim. When Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Shri Rupa Goswami at Prayag, the confluence of 3 rivers in India, Shri Mahaprabhu infused in the heart of Rupa Goswami all the Ras Vichar. Who's writing Ujjwal Nilmani? Actually, this morning I was thinking what to start here in Ujjain. So very first thought came, seriously telling you, first thought came, I read Ujjwal Nilmani today. Seriously, I was thinking. And in that Ujjwal Nilmani also, I was thinking to read, Shri Rupa Goswami described 25 qualities of Radharani. What are the detailed descriptions of those 25 qualities? What are the Shingar? The Shingar of Radharani. So I was reading Rupa Goswami. Amazing. But then I thought, oh, foundation has to be strong. foundation needs to be very strong, right? Because, believe me, and I'm not complaining to anyone, I'm no one, and I'm not the authority. Gurudev is authority. But when I travel all over the world, I see devotees, they struggle to chant even 16 rounds, which is not, chanting 16 rounds is not the end of chanting. Chanting 16 rounds is the beginning of the chanting. Chanting starts after completion of 16 rounds. Chanting starts like this. When dark and daylight meet, the early morning, even sun is not risen yet, but we see some little light, abhas, a semblance is there. And that shows us that sun is coming very soon on the horizon. So darkness dissipates, darkness goes away, and we see light. So we cannot say that, oh, the day has come to end. No, the night has come to end, the day has just started, not the day has come to end. So just mere chanting 16 rounds is not the end of chanting, that's the semblance of the rising of the sun, and the day is going to start after this. And devotees finding so weak, not even chanting 16 rounds, because fundamentals are not strong. These topics are not strong. And one wants to enjoy high topics, which is good to know. Of course, that's our Gurudev's mood. But that's not, maybe my English is wrong, that's not only Gurudev mood. The other 70% mood of Gurudev was also emphasizing on practice. Your sadhan has to be very clean, pure and strong. Yes, in Mathura, we used to be with Srila Gurudev, very strong to his brahmacharis. Work from morning till night, unless you get so tired and fatigued that when you sit on bed, there's no time to even think anything, you just fall unconscious there. Work that hard. That's Gurudev's style. Sadhan, chanting, serving, reading, remembering. So important. And then on the top of, along with that, then the flavor of the books of Rupa Goswami, the insight of Rupa Goswami's literatures, then relish that. So for relishing you need a foundation. Jagannath Prabhu, if your stomach is full and Didi makes such wonderful prasadam, paneer and all that halwa, but you're full, you can't relish that.
Correct.
But if you're hungry, and all this delicious prasad comes, you relish every morsel which is going here. Every morsel of food giving so much relishment. And what is that hunger? That hunger is the inspiration, the desire to relish that ras vichar. And that comes by these points. So, this type of material enjoyment is compulsory for an embodied soul. 5 senses: eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and touch. Without enjoying the sense objects, a living entity cannot survive. As soon as the living entity gives up sense enjoyment, he leaves his body. Therefore, giving up sense enjoyment is only a figment of the imagination. It can never be applied in practice. Now he is giving a shlok. Krishna instructed Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, nahi kaschat sharam api jatu tishtati akarma krita karyeti hi avasha karma sarva prakriti jair gune karmindriyanya samyam ya ashche manas smaran indriyartham vimud atma mithya acharan sauchait. To prove his point, Srila Bhakti Thakur is giving one evidence. That means everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Forced to act. Some people are more prominent in the mode of goodness, although the three modes of natures are there. But some are more on passion side and more on ignorance side. So everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. We have to do something, right? If anyone say, I don't do anything, but if you say, I don't do anything, it's also doing. I don't do anything. This is also doing something. No one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Again. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells. One who restrains the senses of action, right? Not doing anything. But whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. It's not a practitioner, but a pretender. Since maintaining one's life is not possible without action, one must work to maintain his life. Yes, we need to work to maintain our life. Even eating is also maintenance. Sleeping is maintenance. Yes. Dada. If such activities are done in the mood of enjoyment, then one's qualification as a human is lost and he becomes an animal. What is that verse? Ahar nidra bhay metunscha samane ekna pashu nirna. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. This is done by animals also. And if human beings also doing the same thing, then what's the difference between human and animal? Srila Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj used to say, 2 legs, sophisticated animal. Not 4-leg animal, but 2 legs, sophisticated animal. For whom? If such activities are done in the mood of enjoyment, then one's qualification as a human is lost and he becomes an animal. Therefore, if one can transform all his bodily activities into activities favorable to the devotional service of Lord, then it is Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, this is some false yoga. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchyate. Serving the senses of the Lord with the mood of becoming the servant of the Lord. Just like Amrish Maharaj. What he was doing? Save mana Krishna padar vindayo vacham shi vakunt gunanuvarne karor hari mandir mardaneshu. With his hands, he was cleaning the temple, mind, remembering the Lord, paying obeisances, and with his feet doing parikrama. But, whereas, Kame cho dase natunne kama kamai, the last line of the verse. Why he was performing all this activity? Kame cho dase. To achieve the service of the Lord, to become the servant of the Lord, not to enjoy these actions, but just to become the servant of the Lord. He was doing this. Kamacha dasena to ande kama kamai. Therefore, if one can transform all his bodily activities into the activities favorable to the devotional service of Lord, then this is Bhakti Yoga. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi. O Arjun, if one eats too much, or eats too little, sleeps too much, or does not sleep enough, cannot be termed yogi. Krishna saying to Arjun, Bhagavad Gita. Now if you go back and remember how Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur started from, and now he's establishing this point, Atyahar, only focusing on one word, that Atyahar is not overeating. This again, another verse from Bhagavad Gita. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi. O Arjun, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough, he who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, receiving or opening or closing eyes, he always knows that only material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. This is the meaning Krishna is giving to Arjuna. So much about eating, huh? Just the word ahar is not overeating, it has some other meaning. These instructions are effective for jnanis. Still, their purport is favorable for devotional service. The concluding verse of Bhagavad Gita explains about Sharanagati, full surrender. Keeping this in mind, one should renounce fruitive activities and philosophical speculation and accept sense objects as the Lord's mercy. This is known as pure devotional service. This is pure devotional service. Those who follow the process of jnanis, is not speaking about karmis, but jnanis, their purport, their motive is still little favorable towards devotional practice. Not 100%, but still it is favorable. But karmis, their activities are not at all favorable. Nothing for devotional service. And that's why they come up with those fake and superfluous ideas. Just I was saying in the beginning, oh, who's Krishna? Who's going to help you at the time of death? Krishna will want to be there. No one will be there. You have to go alone. All that stuff. They don't believe in the presence of the Lord. So they are atheist people. And that's why Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Abhijanti ma muda. They are foolish who think I am ordinary human being. They are foolish. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has said in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anasakya Vishayan Yathar Upaya Jantaha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Cha Uchyate. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur, after giving some reference from Bhagavad Gita, is coming to make us understand again back to that word Atyahar. We have to follow the principle of Yukta Vairagya. What is Yukta Vairagya? Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada used to say, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Cha Uchyate. What is Yukta Vairagya means? When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna. Yes? How many kind of vairagyas are there? Markat vairagya, Falgu vairagya, and then Yukta vairagya. 3, basically. Markat vairagya is vairagya like a monkey. Monkey. Markat means monkey. Monkey is showing, I don't need any residence. I just can stay in trees. I don't want to eat anything, but is sense enjoyer. So that's Markat vairagya. And what is Falgu vairagya? Manmohan bro?
Shallow, artificial.
Huh?
Are you talking about the Falgu River, the way it flows underneath? It looks dry on top, but it's underneath.
It looks dry on the top, but there is undercurrent.
So they look renounced, but underneath.
They look renounced, but there's undercurrent going on. that renunciation is for some other purpose. So these are not bona fide renunciation, but Yukta vairagya. Acceptance of everything related to Krishna. That's called Yukta vairagya. Is that? When one is not attached to anything. So acceptance of everything which is not attached. So once upon a time a guru asked a question to a disciple. After initiation, 6 months, a guru asked his disciple, this is just a story. He say, oh, so you getting any taste in your chanting? Disciples say, Gurudev, sometimes. So what you taste? What gives you taste? The ultimate taste. He said, Gurudev, when I think about Rasgulla, even by thinking of Rasgulla, I get so much taste. Mouth-watering Rasgulla. Gurudev said, you need to chant more sincerely. Come and see me after 6 months. And now, this time, chanting with quality, praying from the heart. He said, Gurudev, yes. He came next, another time, after 6 months. So, are you getting any taste in Rasgulla? He said, Gurudev, fading. With your mercy and blessings, I'm developing more taste in chanting. He said, what about your favorite Rasgulla? He said, it's there but it's faded. Oh, still there? Go chant more, come after 6 months. Again he came after 6 months. So what is status of your chanting, of your bhajan? Any inclination to taste and relish Rasgulla? He said no. If Rasgulla comes, before it was that even if I remember Rasgulla, I feel like eating and tasting. But even now the status is, if Rasgulla comes in front of me, then I get urge to it. Otherwise, there is no inclination. If I see the form of Rasgulla, then I feel like, otherwise, no. So you are doing good. Another 6 months. Then he came with very strong determination. And Gurudev said, what's your status now? Gurudev, now the status is, even if the Rasgulla is there in front of me, I don't feel like eating. So Guru said, if I put in your mouth, then? He said, if you put in my mouth, then definitely I'm going to taste. That means still some kasai. You know kasai? What is kasai? What's the word? The greed in a dormant state is still there. And Guru goes with the operation of taking out even that greed from the heart. Chant more. After chanting 1 year, He said, what's the status now? He said, Gurudev, before you ask anything, even if you put rasgulla in my mouth, I don't feel like eating. Now you prove I'm the best student? He said, not yet. What more? So you have to chant more. But Gurudev, am I not qualified now? He said, okay, I just offered this rasgulla to my Radha Govinda. I want to see if you have agreed to eat this. The Guru brought the rasgulla and the disciple said, Guruji, no taste, no desire, nothing. Even seeing rasgulla, I have no taste. Now you qualified me? He said, no, disqualified. Chant more. And his 1 year chanting and thinking, what was the point he disqualified me? 1 year chanting. Constantly chanting and realizing this. This is what we need to do. It's all not only about the example of a rasgulla, but with all our surroundings. When he came after 1 year, Gurudev asked him, so now you understand why I disqualified you? He said, Gurudev, something little. May I know what is that? He said, Gurudev, you offered me rasgulla which is offered to Krishna. That was Krishna Prasad, and I rejected that, thinking this is ordinary rasgulla as I was eating earlier. That was my mistake. Guru said, you're qualified. Before, you were enjoying rasgulla, but this is the prasad of Krishna. You're not enjoying. Now you renounced that taste of rasgulla, but now if you're eating rasgulla, this is not enjoying, this is honoring Krishna prasad. It can be rasgulla, it can be any other thing. Shri Madhavendra Puripad. When Khirchor Gopinath, how many of you seen Khirchor Gopinath? No one? Jagannath Puri, Khirchor Gopinath? Ramuna, yes. Very nice. Gopinath, who stole the clay pot of kheer for his devotee, Shri Madhavendra Puripad. You know the whole story, no? Everyone knows the story. How many clay pot of sweet rice offered every evening? 12. And Shri Madhavendra Puripad, he came and he wanted to eat that. He saw this, oh, this is kheer, this is not ordinary sweet rice, this is Amrit Keli, condensed like a rubbery, totally condensed. When you keep on cooking, and the big pot becomes so small, condensed. This is called Amrit Keli. Shh, quiet. Amrit Keli Kheer. Shri Madhavendra Puripad, he saw this offering done for Khirchor Gopinath, and he had a desire to eat this. Shri Madhavendra Puripad, who never ever ate anything in his life except milk, and that too not to ask from anyone, but whoever gives him spontaneously, that was his style. So desire came in his heart. Why the desire? To relish that sweet rice? No. He was thinking, if I taste this sweet rice, I'm going to make exactly similar, same for my Gopal. So for the sake of serving to Gopal, he wanted to eat that sweet rice. Nana? Not for himself. This is called Yukta Vairagya. Just a simple example. But then he, lamenting, why the desire came on my heart and mind to taste the sweet rice, whereas I never ate anything in my life. Only milk, only milk, only milk. And he left the temple. Shri Gopinath, midnight, he came in a dream of his pujari. He said, get up. Today I stole a pot of sweet rice is under my dhoti. Go and give to my devotee, Madhavendra Puri. So when the pujari brought this sweet rice, the pot of sweet rice, who is Madhavendra Puri? Who is Madhavendra Puri? Gopinath have stolen sweet rice for you. And he came for, it's me. Gopinath stole sweet rice for me. Started weeping and crying. And with so much respect and honor, he's eating that sweet rice now. Never ever ate anything in his life. That was his vow. Today he's eating sweet rice, not to taste sweet rice. Try to understand this. A very subtle line here. Not to taste that sweet rice, but to serve his deity Gopal. Only that's a reason. So this is not Atyahar. This is Yukta Vairagya. He's teaching with his own example. And what else? Not only that he ate sweet rice, but also that clay. He broke that into pieces and tied in his cloth. And every day he's eating that clay also. So it's not that sweet rice is prasad, but the clay pot is also prasad because Gopinath stole for him. He's getting the same taste in the sweet rice and getting the same taste in that clay pot. This is called Yukt Vairagya. There's no specifications. That only if I get sweet rice, then this is prasad. And if I get rasgulla, that's not prasad. There's a very high level. You know? So that's why the disciple understood after 3-4 years of chanting, Gurudev now understood what's my mistake. That rasgulla is offered to the Lord, that was prasad, and I was rejecting that. So now you're qualified to eat rasgulla on my order. You qualified. Oh, so is time over? Yes?
Finish.
You have to finish by 8?
No.
Finish what you wanted to say.
So we need to make offering, right?
Maybe some mandarin.
No.
Oh, you know.
Okay.
So, when one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, acceptance with not attachments. Understand? This we need to know in our daily practices. Acceptance with not attachments. But when acceptance comes with attachments, then this is entanglement.
And that's Atyahar, right?
Hmm?
And that's Atyahar.
I'm not finished. He's coming to the conclusion. He's in the middle of his explanation. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of his relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of his relationship to Krishna is not as complete his renunciation. It's very subtle. The purport of these two verses is repeated in Sri Updeshamrit by instructions to reject Atyahar. These two verses, first and second. The purport is that if one accepts sense objects in the spirit of enjoyment, that is Atyahar. If one accepts sense objects in the spirit of enjoyment, then it's Atyahar. But if sense objects are accepted as the Lord's mercy and only as far as required and favorable for devotional service, then it is not Atyahar. So the center is Krishna. If Krishna is the center, then it's not Atyahar. If I am the center, self-interest is the center, then it's Atyahar. If sense objects are honestly accepted as the Lord mercy, then Yukta Vairagya is easily attained. Shri Mahaprabhu ordered is to accept sense objects without attachment and chant Krishna Nam. Don't endeavor for palatable foodstuffs and fine clothes. Mahaprabhu told to whom? Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. Bhalo na khaibe or bhalo na poribe. Don't eat good and don't wear good. Yes? Who told this? Mahaprabhu to Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, whose renunciation is so high. Don't eat good and don't wear good. Mahaprabhu told, right? But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who is direct associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was he not wearing good? He sent Shri Bhakti Hridaya Van Goswami Maharaj to Western world prior to Swami Maharaj. And prior to sending him to Western world for preaching, saying that you're going to be a representative, my representative, and therefore he ordered his servant to buy the most expensive shoe from the city Calcutta. And in those days, in almost 1930, 32, Shri Bhakti Hridaya Van Goswami Maharaj was given a shoe cost 40 rupees. Denomination at today, this day, say like $20,000-$30,000 shoe. Can you imagine? And Srila Prabhupada told his sevak to give this shoe to Ban Maharaj and tell him to wear and come to me, I want to see him. He should come and see me. And sevak brought this shoe, gave to Bhakti Hridaya Van Goswami Maharaj and gave the exact instructions. Prabhupada want to see you. After just few seconds of thinking over this, immediately put on those shoes and he came to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada said, he gave a comment there. You have renounced the renunciation. Because if this instruction is given to us, it's so easy. Okay, my Gurudev wants to wear these Crocs, come and see me. I can wear and go to him. Because I have less understanding. But I'm speaking about Acharya Shri Bhakti Hridaya Van Goswami Maharaj, high qualified, who's fully knowledgeable, and he's wearing shoe to come and see his Guru Maharaj. With two considerations. One is, a sannyasi is not supposed to wear the long boot. And secondly, one cannot wear shoe to come one's Gurudev, to see one's Gurudev. But Srila Van Goswami Maharaj, without considering this is appropriate or not appropriate, but just to please his Guru Maharaj instructions, he did this. Srila Prabhupada gave compliment. You renounce the renunciation for the sake of serving, pleasing one's spiritual master. He is wearing the shoes, not for himself, but on the instruction. This is called Yukta Vairagya. So there is no Atyahar in here. Achha? Shri Mahaprabhu is ordered to accept sense objects without attachment and chant Krishna Nam. Don't endeavor for palatable foodstuffs and fine clothes. Oh yeah, I was saying. So Srila Prabhupada, isn't he following 100% Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Then why Srila Prabhupada, when he invited the king, means the British Governor General, to come Mayapur, and Srila Prabhupada wore what? Just ripped clothes? Presentable, good coat and everything. And he made all his disciples wear fancy coat and hat and everything. So this clearly shows they are not following Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami not to wear good. Is it so? This point have to be understood. For the service, everything is justified. But if the motive is not service, then it's sense enjoyment. There is one story. At the time of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Oh, I'm just ending in 2 minutes. Okay. There were many brahmacharis in the center. One brahmachari who came from a poor family. You understand? A really poor family, homeless, that kind of. Not even getting one meal a day. But he came to join the center as a brahmachari. He saw the in charge of the center, he bought 1 rupee, like say $1 shoe, 1925, $1. How much is today? Huh? 20, 30, whatever. $1 shoe. In charge bought for one brahmachari. And seeing this brahmachari from poor family was not even getting a meal a day. In his house, he started complaining to the in charge, why you not getting $1 shoe for me? Why you got only just 20-cent shoe for me? I also want. You doing partiality. So this noise came in the ear of Srila Prabhupada. And Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada came there. And then they all became so quiet. He's asking, what is the matter? And the in charge explained, no, nothing, Guru Maharaj, we don't want to trouble you. No, I want to know. Because Prabhupada wants to establish one Siddhanta there. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. One Siddhanta. And that is, when he heard this complaint about that brahmachari for a shoe, you know what he replied? That brahmachari who received shoe for $1, he is from such a rich, wealthy family that when he was in his home, he was giving donations, $5, $10 to the sadhus, to the beggars. And he became a brahmachari. For him, getting $1 shoe is a renunciation. And you came from that family who was not even getting a meal a day. For you, getting 20-cent shoe is your enjoyment. For him, getting $1 shoe is renunciation, and for you getting 20-cent shoe is enjoyment. Because for him this is yukta vairagya, and for you this is sense enjoyment. So it's not one and the same thing. It depends person to person, qualifications and many other factors. For someone it can be sense enjoyment, for someone it is, like Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Question was being asked to him, oh, why are you riding on airplanes? Are you not sadhu? Sadhu supposed to walk. You having Mercedes, you having all those fancy cars, your disciples running here and there, and you riding on airplanes. For a business guy, this is his sense enjoyment. And for Srila Prabhupada, this is renunciation. Yeah? So, accept the sanctified Bhagavad Prasad that is easily obtainable. This is the devotee's lifestyle. Whatever is required, take only that. Taking more or less will not yield auspicious results. If the practitioner takes or accumulates more than necessary, his spiritual life will be lost due to his being controlled by material mallows. If he does not properly accumulate, then the body, which is his means of worship, will not be protected. Yatha yogya bhog nahi tava rog. Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote, whatever is necessary for maintaining your body, you have to accept that. If you give up that, you can't survive for the next day to chant even 16 rounds. One person can do nirjal, dry fasting on Ekadashi, and seeing that, oh, he is doing, I must also do. But your situation is different. His situation is different. And if you try to imitate that person, what happens? You can't even chant the next day. You're on bed all day. Yatha yogya bhog nahi tava rog. The song written by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Vaishnav Ke. Heard this song? Dushtaman tumi kisera Vaishnav. This song. So many instructions and inspiration in this. Yatha yogya bhog nahi tava rog. Whatever is important, necessary, accept. You'll not be at fault. But more than that, you will be at fault. So this is what he's saying. Try to hear this. If the practitioner takes or accumulates more than necessary, his spiritual life will be lost due to his being controlled by material mallows. You're so much around you, then you'll be thinking all day, how can I enjoy $100,000 here or there or this and that? Okay, and next is, if it does not properly accumulate, then the body, which is his means of worship, will not be protected. Because ultimately, we have to do sadhana with this body. That's why we clean and maintain this body, not to enjoy this body, but to keeping it alive for the service of the senses, the Lord of the senses, Rishikesh, Krishna. So the purport of the instruction to tolerate the urges of the tongue and belly mentioned in the first verse is this. The materialistic easily becomes greedy to enjoy the finest tastes, and being afflicted by hunger, he becomes extremely agitated and enthusiastic to eat the available foodstuffs. This is a material urge. Whenever this type of urge will arise, I'm just going fast because it's time over. Whenever this type of urge will arise, it should be controlled by the cultivation of devotional service. Tar madhye jivati lobhmaye sudurmati take jatha kathim samsare Krishna bada dayamay karivar jiva jay saprasad andilovai se namrita pao Radha Krishna gunagao preme dako chaitanya nitai. This tongue wants to taste. So then taste Mahaprasad. And what happens when one tastes Mahaprasad? Uddhav said this, Bhagavatam, Tab bhog saraganda vaso alankrita charchirata chisht bhojan dasyam tam maya janamihi. Uddhav said, your devotees, oh Krishna, your devotees, they're wearing your garland, they're wearing your prasadi cloths, they're honoring your prasad. Then there is no fear of Maya, material energy. They overcome Maya just by honoring, and respecting your remnants. So much potency is there in honoring Krishna Prasad. The injunction to reject Atyahar mentioned in the second verse is a constitutional rule for the practitioner. The injunction of the first verse is conditional and the injunction of the second is constitutional. Manman Prabhu, I want to understand this point.
Because in the first
Loud,
verse
loud.
It says, the first verse it says, the person who can do this can be a spiritual master for the whole world. So it puts a condition on being a spiritual master. Whereas the second verse is applicable to all people, regardless. It doesn't mean to be something, it just means everyone has to do it.
So see what he's saying. The injunction to reject Atyahar, overeating or over-collecting, mentioned in the second verse is constitutional rule for the practitioner. The injunction of the first verse is conditional and the injunction of the second is constitutional for everyone. But the first verse is conditional for those who are ready to make disciples. There is one more thing to be said. I'm not saying, Bhakti Thakur is saying. All these instructions have two different types of applications for the householders and for the renunciates. He's not making a khichdi. They both are in different ashram. Householders can collect in order to maintain their family members. They should earn their livelihood and save according to religious principles. With these savings, they should serve the Lord, the devotees, guests, family members, and themselves. If a householder collects more than his requirement, then this is an impediment in his devotional service and in his achieving the Lord's mercy. That's Atyahar. So it's not only applying to eating, but it's applying to what? Over collecting. So saving too much and earning too much are both Atyahar, there is no doubt. Bhakti Thakur is concluding. Savings too much and earning too much, both is Atyahar.
Even if you use it to help?
No, that's not about that. This is for enjoying.
Okay.
Those who earn too much or those who save so much. You know what happens then? Not in a gross but in a subtle way. Pride. There's some subtle defects developing. One start thinking, who are you? You are nothing in front of me. I earn $100,000 a month. You are nothing. Even the person don't say, but it is in the back of the head all the time. It's very true. I've seen 99.9%. They're very humble in nature interactions. But at one point, it's like, we step on a grass and grass bend. But when you move your foot from the grass, then grass goes straight. It comes. That's the effect of Atyahar. A renunciate will not collect at all. If he is not satisfied by the alms he obtains every day, then he is guilty of Atyahar. After getting nice foods, if he eats more than he needs, then he is guilty of Atyahar. Therefore, now the conclusion. Therefore, the householders and renunciates should consider these facts carefully, and after giving up Atyahar, when they engage in devotional service, they will attain Krishna's mercy. So Srila Bhakti Thakur is giving instruction parallel to Grastas and also for sannyasis. They can collect, they can save, but their saving and collection is to respect guests, respect family members, respect devotees and the Lord. Because they have to make a house. They're householders. One who's holding the house. One who's strongly holding the house. So too much earning and too much saving. Not in a gross way, but in a subtle way. It develops a pride. And for renunciates also, very strictly he's saying. They should earn. A renunciate will not collect at all. If he is not satisfied by the alms he obtains every day, then he is guilty of Atyahar. After getting nice foodstuffs, if he eats more than he needs, then he is guilty of Atyahar. So everything has to be understood. Everything has to be understood with time, place and circumstance. As I said, Sri Madhavendra Puripad was not eating, but then he has a desire to eat sweet rice. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructing Raghunath Das Goswami not to wear good clothes, not to eat good food. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he used to make feast and he wore very, not fancy, I would say, but nice coat and made everyone to wear that. Mahaprabhu, in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Mahaprabhu didn't want you to see the king. Which king? Pratap Rudra. All devotees begging Mahaprabhu, please, King Pratap Rudra is not like a king. He is your devotee. He respects you. He regards you, this and that. Mahaprabhu said, no, king is king. Finish. King means he always enjoy opulence. So if I see king, a greed will come in my heart to also enjoy like him. I don't want to see the king. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he applied all means to bring the king to Sridham Mayapur. Even at the point when people said, Prabhupada, he always liked to eat meat. Prabhupada said, I will supply meat, but he has to come here. Was there any selfish motive, self-interest there? No, it was Mahaprabhu Seva. So everything has to understand with very specific, gross and subtle points. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So today we heard about the topic Atyahar. Tomorrow we are going to hear next point. These are 6 enemies or faults in bhakti. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Bol.